Just not go for overnight success because it will take time. If you love it, just back yourself and just throw yourself in that river. You will learn how to swim.
You have to work hard. That is the only thing.
I firmly believe for a younger generation it is paperwork, understand the materials, the costings, how to derive a cost, how to make profit. Please make profit and go back home. Don't do charity.
Every house needs to have a soul, needs to have a story.
Understand the dynamics of the business as well.
For the first 5 years in an office, person is mostly learning. What you start doing with passion, you start liking it.
You to grow any kind of education, which is maybe in the field, in an office, or doing a master's, it's super important.
You need to have a logic behind it. But once you have a logic, you have a system, you have a story, you have a design in your head, they will listen to you.
My master's is what helped me manage things better, manage me as a person, understand how to present, understand how to gather things together.
So first of all, thank you for having me on this panel. So I'll say in Hindi only because you asked the question in Hindi. So वैसे मैंने कभी सोचा नहीं था कि I will be going into content creation. मुझे भी एक आर्किटेक्ट बन के बड़े बड़े बिल्डिंग्स प्रैक्टिस करना है, काम करना है एंड डू समथिंग डिफरेंट. लाइक वी ऑल लर्न इन आर्किटेक्चर की ज़ादीज़ जैसा बनना है. ऑल दैट स्टफ हैपेंड विथ मी. फर्स्ट अगर मैं और पीछे जाता हूँ तो मुझे आर्किटेक्ट बनना है कि भी नहीं पता नहीं था. मुझे बुक्स नहीं पढ़नी थी, मुझे मैथ्स नहीं करना था. दैट्स व्हाई आई वेंट टू आर्किटेक्चर. आई स्लोली गॉट दैट इंटरेस्ट इनटू इट. As I told in my story, first, second, third year was the craziest and the deadliest for me. Fourth year में I really got to understand what architecture is, because urban design, city planning and everything, I started learning about that and understanding the space. But after graduating, going into this space, I am not sure how you guys are doing, and you guys are doing amazing. I am not sure, I was not able to fit in that space. And then I resigned from a job and COVID happened at the exact same amount of time. And personally, I was always an actor who wanted to create stuff, be it whatever. So that inclination helped me towards going into this field. And slowly मैंने वो किया. वो मेरा एक inspiration था because I was always in front of camera doing that stuff. So that really helped me to come out on the camera, tell the stories. The only part was whatever difficulty I faced while being an architect practicing in the field, with my content or with my education, what I try to teach people, वो एक easy way में उनको समझना चाहिए. That was the only way I started with. Of course, then monetary things and everything come along with the business. But as a first thing, that there's a motto I go with: learn architecture with fun. I want to make it as interesting as possible, so that every normal person, be it an architect, designer, or even a non-designer, should understand what I'm speaking. So through my content, I try to do that. And hopefully I'll inspire many. As you ask ki, what you will tell others to go into this field, because बहुत सारी fields है. I would just say ki, there are so many fields, and just do not go into this particular field. What you see on social media, there is a lot of struggle, or I will not say struggle because struggle अभी cliche हो चुका है बोलना, but there is so much thing in the background that happens when you start creating content. You have to edit, you have to write. This movie I made in 2 hours, and I did it with ChatGPT and everything. क्योंकि वो मेरी जर्नी थी, वो मुझे हार्ड नहीं गया, पर यही मुझे और किसी और के लिए बनाना, इट वुड बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट. But it comes with 5 years of planning, 6 years of planning that I've learned. So anybody who wants to come with that field, just do not go for overnight success because it will take time. But if you love it, just do it. Whatever field you want to go into, if you love it, just back yourself and just throw yourself in that river. You will learn how to swim.
लवली. एक आप हो और एक अंकुर भाई है जो पूरी पोल खोल देते हैं. ये कैसे किया, वो कैसे किया, ये ऐसे करना चाहिए, वैसे करना चाहिए. So how did you come up with this kind of idea?
Thank you for having me, and genuinely very blessed to be sharing this space with everyone, and thankful and gratitude to everyone who has paid some time in being here. The idea was that if we talk about Instagram or social media, when we started, the issue was we couldn't understand how to take money from the client, how to bridge a gap between the studies and the actual world, wherein I wanted the younger generation to have those answers so that when they initiate their career, they should not get demotivated. Never wanted any client or a homeowner to take undue advantage of a younger mind who wants to go an extra mile. Whatever situations I faced, I wish I had somebody who could tell me. These are the same things I come up on my Instagram and tell them. Won't take much time because I think everyone here is very reel centric. बहुत लंबा बोलूँगा तो I think they'll lose interest. The idea is the gap between studies and the actual thing, wherein these people, before they get into the real world, they can earn money, get motivated and achieve their dreams. That was the pure intent of bringing Instagram onto the paper, nothing else.
Luxury living. How do you visualize luxury?
Hi. So, first of all, I'm very glad after the Gurgaon traffic I managed on time. So, I'm very happy to be here on time. It's a good question. I was just hoping that something that I relate to comes up for me. So, yes, we are doing more luxury residences, and very interesting question. It can be looked at from many different ways. The answers could be they are very subjective to people. From luxury being to a very good looking, beautiful house because people travel so much. So now everybody has the Pinterest on their phone. So from that being luxurious to the actual, like I feel I'm a homemaker as well. So for me, a very good functional house which is easy to maintain throughout is the luxury. Recently we did our own house as well. And for the first time, of course, I'm living in a house that we've designed. So I feel that is a luxury that things are planned. If smallest of the things have space for them so that there's no clutter in the house. The maids know how the system works in the house, so the cleaning has its own space. Like for me, a functional, like I even said in the video, a functional layout is very important, and that to me is also a very, very, very big luxury because I've seen houses which fail eventually because they're not planned well. So they might be beautiful looking, but if they're not planned well, it just doesn't work. Eventually, if your perfumes don't have a space and you are a person who likes to display your perfumes, then they need to have a space in your interiors. So I think first of all, luxury is a good, well-planned house. Of course, with the planning, it needs to come with good aesthetics. Of course, there's no two ways to that. That's what we are here for. And then there are new level. Few of our clients have now started saying that, things like the air pollution level is so high in Delhi. So that is a luxury. If we can plan it at the initial level, that we can have a good sleep with low PM level at our places, that's a luxury. And you'll be surprised that recently one of the clients said that there might be bombing eventually, and that's a very big client. So they're even making a bunker in their house now, in the basement. So that is the first one for us. But I think that's a luxury. So again, I come where aesthetics are obviously important, but luxuries are when the house is very well functional. So that to me is most important.
You're
I'm
into
Shalini.
hotels. You're into hotels, right?
So I'll tell you something. I'll relate luxury to hospitality, right? So
Yeah,
hotels.
yeah.
So for me personally, luxury comes with a very different connotation. So for me, it is a lot of space, a lot of light, and I would also say something which is very minimalistic, yet brings in all that is necessary for my comfort. So, but that is from my own personal view, right? But then I'm dealing with projects which are very diverse. So suppose if I were to talk about Rambagh, which is a luxury project, so that is a palace, right? So the luxury quotient there had to be something which people related to a palace, right? So which had, say, silks and good furniture, and it is not something which is something. See, all the rooms there are different, so it is not as if everything is copy pasted or. There is truly a sense of luxury in the spaces there. So we've used the best of materials, and we were very lucky to have a patron. I'm honestly, that is one of the biggest luxuries, to have somebody as a client who trusts you implicitly, right? That is a very big luxury there. So I was able to put the best of materials without being questioned, and it has withstood the test of time. So some things which would have changed, say, in 5, 6, 7 years, it's nearly 20 years since some of the rooms have been renovated now. So if I go to Six Senses then, right? In Six Senses, the rooms are very bare and minimalistic, right? But they still give you, that is a fort. So a palace and then a fort. So the sense, that is also a very luxurious product. But there everything is earthy. There's nothing which is wasted. There's nothing extra. But everything adds to your comfort. It adds to the luxury quotient of that place. So for me, luxury depends on who it is that is the client and who it is that you're designing for. It has to be tailor-made specifically for that. Residences, we are not into, but we do all kinds of, we are doing them for our clients. And I have people who have the penchant for the most ornate details, and some who have an absolutely simple, taste. So as I said, it varies upon the individual taste.
This is the problem. When you give the social media and handles just 1 hour before the session, this is what happens. Yesterday, who were there? The students for Uncensored? You were there. I asked about embracing movement, right? This is one of them.
So, what was your question? Can you repeat?
How to back clients like Virat Kohli, the luxury clients like Virat Kohli.
I would say it takes time, to be very honest. You have to work a lot for this. It is not something what you can get it in a day. I did very small projects initially. It is purely through networking.
Just
Yeah.
no, you have to extend this uncensored. You have to open up totally. यार मुझे सचिन तेंदुलकर को मिलना है तो इसके लिए पूछ रहा हूँ मैं.
So, to be honest, this is the only thing what you can do. You have to work hard. That is the only thing.
You don't want to disclose the secret. Okay. Moving back to you, I could see in your designs, you're fascinated about the simplicity, sometimes the earthy tones, the bricks, but at the same time, in some of the projects, the loud colors, I would say loud, and also a lot of art.
You have seen my designs, 1/8 commune. Which one? Because we have done 3-4 projects on him.
For?
For 1/8 commune, Virat Kohli's project.
Yeah, I just saw one of them.
Yes.
It's this has come out in this thing.
We did
Delhi.
Noida 1/8. We did Jaipur.
No, out here in Delhi.
Okay. Yeah. Aero City.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So how do you relate art and what is the importance of art in the projects? Importance of art in your projects?
So before I answer that,
No, yeah. So because I could see a lot of art, the emphasis on art.
Yes. So before I answer that, I would really like to comment on the first question that you asked Ankur and Sagar. I would really like to thank them for the work that they are doing, wherein they're bridging the gap between architects, students, clients, and already putting their work, their challenges right across for us to look at. What he rightly mentioned was that it's not easy for anyone to, of course, do anything for the first time, and that's how he shares his challenges, etc. We, on the other, also feel like at times it's easier to have friends in the fraternity you can talk to, knock on their head and ask them certain things, but then to an extent that happens, and then we have these people. So big thanks to people like these who are helping all of us sort of learn from their struggles and challenges. So yeah, that when you talk about art in our project, so it's me and my team. When we work together, there are various sort of notions and opinions coming all together, various kinds of people coming in together. When me and my partner started working alone, after a certain number of projects, we were like, yeah, this is too repetitive. This is like just you and me on paper every day. This is not, as she mentioned, tailor-made or representing a purpose. Then people come along and then you start sort of learning, understanding what should happen, and it should not be a space that is barely, okay, function is of course the topmost priority. You resolve that, form will of course follow that, and the layering everything, etc. comes in from the client, for the client, from all of us. So I feel that art sort of helps us. So what all you saw is how we sort of want to represent our work. Most of it does not look like that anymore because that's how we documented it. That's what we wanted it to speak. Like that's the language that we prefer, so that we are able to sort of look at the space barely. We are talking about not materials but just the volumes maybe in a project. So that kind of depiction really helps us put us on paper, put us across. And we feel that it sort of also breaks away from the technical aspect that we usually go through throughout the entire project, right? So it helps us sort of break it down, have a little bit of fun towards the end. So that's the simple and honest answer for it, yeah.
Nice. So a common question with young mind and the students is that whether they should pursue masters or not, and how much time should they work as intern with a firm and then they start their own practice, or climb the ladders in a firm. Everybody is free to answer that. Yeah.
So this is a question which is often posed to me because I love interacting with the younger generation, and it so happens my niece is sitting right next to you. So she's also in the same dilemma. So for me, masters is something which you should only pursue when you have something specific in mind and you're very sure about it. So, and I honestly feel that when a person is actually studying architecture and has not really practiced or worked in an office, you really don't know what you like or you don't like and what you're good at. It is only once you start working that you understand the nuances of so many things, even design. And for example, I would have never thought that I would be going into the hospitality industry when I started my work, right? But it is just a question of what you start doing, and what you start doing with passion, you start liking it. And then you get better at it, and if you're better than the rest, then you start actually liking it more. So I think it's a question of how much time you put and effort you put into it, and whether it is meant for you or not. It is also, that is very important. But that you can only find till when you're actually using that time to explore. Also, it is very important that the offices let the children learn, or the young generation architects, learn these things also. Because normally what happens is they come inside and, okay, they don't know anything. Let them interact with everyone. and no point coming to us, we don't have the time for you. That is, and I don't blame architects because we generally don't have that much time to interact with the younger generation. But what is very important is that we give everybody's office. So what happens is it will encourage people to see what they like, what they don't like. And masters, I think it's a waste of time. For me at least, I think what you learn in an office and actually doing work, you can't beat that.
Adding to that, my first office was with Mr. Vaklu, Vidrendra Vaklu, if you know Matra Architects. So he said a very interesting thing. He said, if you want to spend 20 lakhs, rather travel. You know, you're going to learn so much more by just traveling and looking at architecture than doing masters. So he's like, no point doing masters. Go travel with this money. So that has stuck to me. And I think that is very important. And also, like she's saying, very rightly said, one more thing I feel when we work under somebody at this level, at the initial level, I feel that it is so important to also look at the systems and the management of how an office is done. Because if you intend on opening your own office, then you're not just a designer. You're just everything else. You have to make your people happy, you have to hire them, you have to hold them, you have to have clients, get more clients, manage them. If you want to grow more, then the systems need to be so good. So like sometimes, I mean, I feel so lost, and at this time then you feel that, okay, you need to, now I also need to do special courses to understand how to get systems because that was never taught to us. And I'm coming from a family who's never been that big into systems, so it's not something that I have seen. So that's something that we are learning. So this, I feel, is very important for everybody, whoever younger generation I meet, architecture, not architecture, this is something that you require in life. I feel how to manage yourself, how to manage your time, how to manage if you want to grow, then whoever's your mentor or you look up to, your case study, I would say. So understand how do their offices function. So when you're at somebody's office, you're working with them, don't just look at the designing. I feel look at all these things also because that is very important. If the culture is very good in that office, like I have learned from my first office that we used to go for different events, he used to take us out, and that way everybody was happy. And touch wood, my staff is also there with us since last 10 years. So that's something I have learned. From being there in that office, I have learned and inculcated in our office systems as well. So that I feel is again very important.
But we all talk about there is only one kind of way out, like to be an entrepreneur or to start on own practice. But when you are an educator or you are into academics, you need to have masters. So we need to open up all the avenues to young students, right? So they have to decide where they have to venture out.
So I agree with half of what they've said, that you have to learn how to run a studio, etc., etc. But of course, that's not the usual ending point for everyone. Should not be, right? So unfortunately, after hearing all of this, me and my partner have done masters and in different streams. But I agree with them when they say that you have to first have some amount of experience, realize aapko kya pasand hai, kya nahi karna hai, whatever, broadly. Of course, you can't never be 100% sure. And then you sort of stream out, venture out, do what you think is going to help you in the coming years. In our studio, however, we always push everyone to realize that if they want to go take that path, then we always would love to connect them with our friends who are in the education sector, who are researchers, who are doing their PhDs and all of that. Why not? So that's again another approach. For me and Shubhit, he did his master's in international design and business management. So that really helps us sort of gather things together. Mine was in fabrication. So it helps me do the detailing bit maybe. So we had a conversation, we understood our interests, and that's when we took a thought about decision and we arrived at that. So that it helps. Yes, you can use that money and travel, and it is a big learning. Travel is always helpful. For me, to be honest, my master's is what helped me manage things better, manage me as a person, understand how to present, understand how to gather things together. All of it, all the credit, because I was living alone for the first time, learning things in a different country, different language for the first time. So it really helps. So I feel that for you to grow, any kind of education, which is maybe in the field, in an office, or doing a master's, it's super important. You have to just be aware and identify that कि ये समझ आ रहा है इसको करते, then you climb up that ladder in that field. In a studio, in a big enterprise, in a school, however you like to. It's a very individualistic decision. So yeah.
So I appreciate what you are saying, because I understand that from that point of view that yes, you want to learn something very specific, right? So what happens in an office environment also, at least that is what we have understood, is that you've got various types of projects, and everything is like a research, like a literature survey before you do a project which is different from what you've been doing earlier. So it's like a master's almost, in which you're guided by a team, but then the difference is the advantage and disadvantages. Advantage, you have to find your own way, and the disadvantage is there's no person to guide you, right? So yes, masters makes a lot of difference if you have something like this on your mind. But then, as I said, and I forgot to mention one thing, that you'd asked how many years should somebody stick around. I think that is something which people would also be debating upon, because I think that for the first 5 years in an office, a person is mostly learning, not and after 5 years, the person's contribution is absolutely different. The kind of things that the person can give. So students the younger generation have to be very patient the first 5 years. If they're able to take those 5 years in their stride and not give up, you'll go everywhere. But that is the point. The only problem is today people are running away from it.
And the other problem is I don't know which firm to join. Should I join the firm which has hundreds of people working for them, or to join a firm which has 2 people? So that's again the dilemma. I mean,
See, in terms of organization, everything comes with their own advantages and disadvantages. Coming back to what they spoke about postgrad or doing their masters, I firmly believe that when you plan to get into your own business, as we've always learned, we need to get our basics right in terms of paperwork. As all young people, they do end up giving a lot more as needed out of them. They would want to give free designs, they would want to come up, do a lot more visits. I just tell every youngster to be a lot more balanced, value themselves, do the paperwork. Of course, today you have, chat GPTs helping you with them, but understand the dynamics of the business as well. Yes, design is one part. As she said that you're you're doing a business. It's like a pizza. You have a slice, which is a design, but there are many aspects to it. And I firmly believe for a younger generation, it is paperwork, understand the materials, the costings, how to derive a cost, how to make profit. Please make profit and go back home. Don't do charity wherein you want to go do more and more visits. The more visits you do, the lesser your value comes. Be balanced in your approach. Earn money in your projects. Be more organized. Please learn to create a proper costing. Understand materials. Understand the implementations of the material. And especially when you're learning, I feel on the site, it could be, an internship or a job where you get the experience of the design that you create can be incorporated in real, rather than just, with due respect to Pinterest, all those designs that are created are not necessarily be implemented here as per our environment as well. We see so many kitchens on Pinterest which are, beautiful, but the fact is it isn't made as per our cooking environment. So when you understand the material, you understand the specification, and you understand what difficulties that you will face. That is how you derive a cost to the design that you have created. Unless or until you want to continue as, you know, as a, maybe you want to continue with a job, then you can completely focus on a design. But as soon as you enter into business, then there are different aspects. And I feel that a lot of youngsters get demotivated in their initial years because they put in so much of love, because they have so much of design in their mind, they are creative, they want to give it out, but they're not able to earn. Please put on your designs, value yourself, create your BOQs, get down, and please do not hesitate in asking for your money when you've put in so much of love, effort. Whether postgraduate, आप पढ़े हैं, आपने मेहनत करी, आपने समय लगाया है, you deserve to earn before anything else.
Anybody wants to?
मैंने रिसेंटली अपना वर्क स्टार्ट किया है खुद के फर्म के लिए एंड मैं जो प्रॉब्लम फेस कर रहा हूँ वो बेसिकली क्लाइंट्स को लेके आती है. दो क्वेश्चंस है. एक तो क्लाइंट बहुत ज़्यादा कंफ्यूज है, वो बोलेंगे उनको मिनिमल चाहिए बट उनका जो चॉइसेस होते हैं वो काफ़ी मैक्सिमल या फिर बहुत ही डिफरेंट रहता है. एंड एक फॉलोअप क्वेश्चन है, जब काफ़ी सारे स्टेक होल्डर्स होते हैं जैसे कि डिफरेंट एज ग्रुप्स के, तो उनको आप स्टार्टिंग फेज़ में कैसे केटर करते थे कि लाइक ताया जी को उनका रूम अलग से चाहिए, जो उनके सन हैं उनको अलग चाहिए, उनको उनका ड्राइंग रूम चाहिए वो चाहिए क्लासिकल में, जो सबसे यंगर जनरेशन है उनको काफ़ी मॉडर्न डिज़ाइंस चाहिए, तो उनको आप कैसे डील करते हैं या क्या हम कर सकते हैं? थैंक यू.
Good question. You can't be completely out of it, I feel, but with experience, I think that's what you gain is the confidence where you, like, for me, I always say that a house is a story, okay? So you can have a basement in a house which is a different story because you don't go there every day, but for the way I design and the way I feel that a house needs to talk, every house needs to have a soul, needs to have a story, and that's how one room cannot be completely different from another in not the designing but the style of it. So that is a confidence only, I feel, personally I feel, where you have to put your foot down saying you can take your time but we have to first decide on a story. And also when a client approaches us, I feel eventually they know that what my style is also. So they'll come to me not for like I am a more contemporary architect, so not someone who's big on classical style will probably not come to me. Okay. So मुझे ऐसा लगता है इसके अंदर ये इम्पॉर्टेंट होता है कि हमें अपना फुट डाउन रखना है कि कहानी पहले अच्छी होनी चाहिए. So there needs to be a soul, there needs to be a story and everything weaves around it. Anyways घर के अंदर बहुत सारे elements, वो घर है, उसको घर जैसा रहना चाहिए.
Definitely.
तो वो आपको समझाना है उनको और वो 10 बार बोले. बिलीव मी, अगर आप कॉन्फिडेंस से एक चीज़ बोलोगे वर्सेस आप उनकी सुन के बोलोगे, उसमें बहुत डिफरेंस होगा. इवेंचुअली आपको, अगर आप अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट होके वो बात बोलोगे, वो आपको ओवर रूल करने की कोशिश करेंगे.
हाँ,
और
ये
वही
भी मैं
बात आप
face
कॉन्फिडेंस
करता
से बोलोगे, नहीं ये नहीं हो सकता, ये नहीं. एंड ऑफ कोर्स यू नीड टू हैव अ लॉजिक बिहाइंड इट. But once you have a logic, you have a system, you have a story, you have a design in your head, they will listen to you. हाँ, आएंगे उसके अंदर ऐसे clients. In the end, houses are something जिसके लिए सब लोग बहुत दिल से करते हैं. And जब दिल से करते हैं तो गलतियाँ करते हैं. तो ये सच है. हम भी करते हैं तो हम भी करेंगे अपने घर के लिए. मैंने भी गलतियाँ करी हैं. So घर बहुत ही emotional factor है. But as soon as you do something else, किसी का ऑफिस बना लो, उसमें वो सब कुछ चलता है, हो जाएगा. Like they'll give you the power, but with houses I think they don't want to give you the power, so you have to take that power, I feel.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi Sagar. Hi Sagar. Actually, when I saw your intro, it seems like you are playing my video. Exactly the same thing. Fail नहीं हुआ, but हाँ ये था. Thank you. But ये था कि यार फर्स्ट ईयर में ये था कि टीचर जो पढ़ा रहे हैं वो सही है नहीं है, बिल्डिंग में क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा. जब इंटर्नशिप में गए तो उन्होंने ये कहा कि अच्छा इंटर्नशिप में हो आप साइट विजिट नहीं कर सकते. फिर आई सेड दैट कि यार कॉलेज में है हमें जाना ही है, इट्स कंपल्सरी. देन दे जस्ट से दैट कि अच्छा हम फोटो दे देंगे, हम फोटो दे देंगे, आप वहाँ पर दिखा दीजिएगा. तो दिस इज सम फॉर्म्स दे डू दैट कि आप काम करो, जो फोटोज़ वगैरह जो पेपर वर्क है वो हम आप हैंडल कर लेंगे, वो सब कर लेंगे. बट the way you have started content writing and all this stuff, even I also started it, but I don't know how you able to make it, and I was not able to do it. मैंने start किया, मेरे को लगा कि हाँ ठीक है, views नहीं आ रहे, 1 महीना किया, 2 महीना किया, मैं कहा नहीं यार मज़ा नहीं आ रहा. And एक और thing कि जब आपने तो पूरा छोड़ दिया था architecture and then you content writing, so how your family supported कि यार पैसे तो कमा नहीं रहा, क्योंकि मोस्टली दिस इज इंडियन हाउस, टू बी वेरी फ्रैंक, एवरीबडी इज मनी माइंडेड, एवरीबडी थिंक दैट कि यार आर्किटेक्चर कर रहा है, इतने तूने पैसे एजुकेशन में लगाए हैं, अब तूने छोड़ दिया, अब क्या, अब पैसे कैसे आएंगे. तो आई वॉज लाइक यार पार्ट टाइम ही कर लेते हैं. बट उसमें भी वो व्हेन यू आर कम्प्लीटली इनटू इट यू विल डेफिनेटली गेट इट. बट जो आपने किया, आपके पेरेंट्स का क्या था. एंड सर अंकुर सर, द थिंग इज व्हेन यू सेड दैट कि कॉस्टिंग वाली चीज़ आपको पता होनी चाहिए. इवन आई एम वर्किंग 5 years आई एम इन दिस फील्ड. तो हर फर्म में क्या होता है कि दे हैव अ हायरार्की, यू हैव योर वर्क असाइन. आई एम असिस्टेंट प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर, हाँ, सो आई हैव वर्क असाइन कि यार आपको ये करना है, आपको आपके अंडर के बंदे हैं, इनको ये होगा. बट दे हैव नेवर डिस्क्लोज द कॉस्टिंग कि इसका ये कॉस्ट होगा, उसका वो कॉस्ट होगा. आई ट्राई टू टेक इट आउट कि हाँ पता लग जाए कैसे क्या होगा, बिकॉज मेरा स्टार्टिंग से ही एम ये है कि आई वांट टू ओपन माय ओन. बट कॉस्टिंग इज़ अ मेन थिंग कि आप क्लाइंट को भी बोलोगे कि हाँ भाई इतना लगेगा, बोल दिया. इवन एक बार मेरे के पास क्लाइंट आया, कहता कि हाँ इतना एरिया है, ये बनाना है, वो करना है. आई जस्ट सेड दैट कि हाँ पर फीट के हिसाब से इतना चार्ज लगेगा, आप ये मतलब एरिया के हिसाब से इतना लगेगा, तो ये सब ठीक है. तो इनिशियली दे सेड ओके. फिर बाद में कहते नहीं ठेकेदार से बनवा लेंगे. तो मैंने कहा ओके फाइन, गो फॉर इट. बट अगर हम कॉस्टिंग दे भी रहे हैं तो वो कैसे होनी चाहिए, क्या होनी चाहिए, कैसे हम कॉस्टिंग और सीख सकते हैं जो हम क्लाइंट को बताएं एंड इट विल बी लाइक कि हमें प्रोजेक्ट मिल पाए वाली चीज़.
Should I answer first or he should answer first? Okay. So coming back to your internship part जहाँ से तुमने start किया था. Even for me, I only did SketchUp models. ठीक है? But it is always good to learn something whatever they are giving you. क्योंकि वो एक task है आपके लिए. But आपको भी उतना train होना चाहिए कि आपने सवाल पूछने चाहिए कि sir, we have done the SketchUp models now. Even if you don't pay me, I want to go on the site, which I didn't do. So now I am learning it after understanding the field from inside कि I should have done that. ठीक है, keeping that aside, now I am into content creation. You had few questions about that. I did not monetize my channel for 3 years. And I just did for the sake of helping others. And why? Because I was enjoying it. My family totally opposed it. So I was creating content, I was giving job interviews. I was giving a job interview and it was on a big screen this much. A follower of mine texted, we saw your photo on a big screen. And that moment I saw that I think I should not completely give up on the jobs, back myself and explain to my family that whatever I'm doing, even if I don't earn, I am happy with it. And that's the stand I want to take. Even if the architecture, that was the same thing. My family wanted me to become a CA, a doctor or an engineer. I did not want it to go to that path. That time also I put my foot down. I was against everyone and I did architecture. I topped my thesis. And then again I took my foot down and like architecture is like, it was not like I didn't, like मैं भाग गया वहाँ से. I had few better experiences. ऐसा नहीं कि सबको आएंगे. Few of them get beautiful projects at the start and people are doing amazing. It is me who had a choice of not doing it and the circumstances which were upon me. COVID happened at literally the same time I wanted to start my firm. So I didn't have a choice to either sit at home, do nothing or do something. And I was a social media freak. I wanted to do something on social media. I was always fascinated by people doing stuff on internet. So that really helped me to come out on camera. But नाच गाना नहीं करना था, which was a thin line मैंने खींच के रखी थी कि I want to educate Bhale, if I'm not practicing, that is fine, but I want to create something into architecture. And once my family started to know कि इसके results आ रहे हैं अभी, they are my biggest cheerleader now. They are very happy seeing me in certain exhibitions, certain panels, doing certain collaborations with big brands, doing podcasts with big architects around India or across the globe. So that is thing. आपने 1 महीना किया, मैंने 3 साल बिना पैसे को काम किया है. तो 1 महीना is nothing. So if you want to do it, I would still suggest कि don't, मैंने जैसे छोड़ दिया था architecture, आप continue करो, start doing both things. Slowly, if you think that this is working out for you, then maybe you can pivot. और architecture तो है ही. I did that mistake, but the circumstances were different. If you want to do it, I would suggest do both. If you are earning good amount of money through any of the field, अपने आप interest आ जाएगा.
Well said. Thank you so much for such good insights.